Good afternoon, guys. This is Patrick here at Trading with Prime. Just wanted to do a market recap here and see what was going on around the marketplace. We've been talking the last couple days on what the market was kind of presenting itself to be, and we talked Friday. On Friday's low, we pointed out that that could be a potential low if you're interested in taking that trade on any number of stocks in the S&P 500 as well as the Nasdaq. That is an okay place to take a trade as long as you know where your stop loss is going to be at the low of that reversal candle. I wasn't 100% convinced on the actual closing prices of the said reversal candle, and it isn't the actual type of reversal candle that I would want to see. However, today we did have follow through. And really quick here, I'm going to pull something up for you guys really quick here. So we've been talking about the Fed printing the last several sessions that we've had. We've been talking about how much money is getting pumped into the marketplaces. And so every morning and usually in the afternoon, I like to go into the different news channels. There's a certain number of them. I do like CNBC. I do like Yahoo Finance. But I like to go in and just kind of go through the headlines to kind of get a feel for what the sentiment is, especially in the morning, but also at night, just to kind of flip through the headlines, see what's going on around the marketplaces as far as fundamentals go. So that's something to just keep an eye on. Just have an idea of, and be aware anytime you hear any news about certain things that'll affect the market, like like last week we had China shutting down some embassies, and that offered us some nice play ideas. We had the U.S. shutting down an embassy in Texas, giving us the idea that China was most likely going to respond, and China did respond. Gave us a nice little setup here, but also allowed us to buy this dip. And I've said this before, as long as we stay above this price zone, and I don't know what the actual trend line, my trend lines might be a little bit off here, but as long as we stay above this price zone or really above this level, this is a buy the dip market, and it will continue being a buy the dip market until we see downside, which if we do see downside, I don't expect the market to just roll over in one day and just start selling off. But if we did break this trend line support, that is a good place to go ahead and try to lean into some short positions. So if I go down to the intraday time frame on the S&P 500, I'm going to go to let's go to the hourly chart. So this is kind of what we're looking at here, and this can definitely change based on any news that comes out tonight. There could be a little bit of resistance here. We're almost near some resistance right here at let's see here, let me give you a price on that. Resistance at 323.13 is the next kind of resistant level, which we're pretty much right at. Above that, if we start closing above this line here, we could even get all the way up to 325.90. If we can definitely clear this level tomorrow, that's possible resistance up here at 323. I'm sorry, at 325.90. So we are looking good here. This is kind of what we're expecting. Buy the dip Friday, and this will give you something to keep in mind. How many people do you follow on YouTube who are saying all weekend long that the market was going to crash on Monday? Maybe they weren't all saying the market was going to crash, but just to give you a contrarian point of view, when a lot of traders are pointing out the negative aspects of the market, sometimes what we see is the opposite. So this morning you saw a dip, and traders bought up the dip. A lot of shakiness today, but at the end of the day, they ran it up into the close. That's very bullish in my opinion. And just going back to let's go back to the daily chart here. Just looking at the daily chart, think of it like this: the more we climb up this candle here, this huge red candle, the more we climb up that candle, the more likely we are to get to the top of the candle. And I know that sounds kind of funny. But think of it like this: we close at near the highs of the day. That leads me to believe that we're going to see higher prices tomorrow. It is possible, completely possible, that we don't. It's possible that we come back down and back test this area down here. One thing is for sure though, and I want you to focus on, is if we start trading down near the low of this candle that we put in today, if we start trading down the low of that candle, we're most likely going to go through it. And again, because we were just down in this area on Friday, I don't think this area would hold. I think we would start to begin looking at the low down here just above 310. I can give you a price on that. The low of this candle is 312. So around 312 to 313 and a half. If we start trading below 318.50, that's where I would, where I would think we'd most likely head to. Doesn't have to happen all in one day, but I'm still leaning at higher prices in the S&P 500. Let's look at the QQQ. So looking at the Qs, same thing. I've got my price channel. I thought we moved this around here, but let's just move this a little bit. I'll clean it up a little bit. I don't like to move trend lines once I put them in, but I think this one, I put it in on my mobile phone, so it changed when it came over to the desktop. So just looking at this, we are in somewhat of a price channel here. The same kind of rules apply. In fact, to me, this is definitely a reversal candle. We did have it. We did see it on volume. We've talked about that. Reversal candle Friday, so stop loss just below the low of that candle. And then today, we're starting to climb up this candle put in from last Thursday. Same rules apply here. We are above all the moving averages. To me, I'm going to give the Qs the benefit of the doubt. To me, they're going to be climbing up higher. I'm not saying all-time highs, but I would like to put a target on the Qs roughly around 365, 364.25, 364.55 to 365.24. So in that price, it's a zone up here. If we can get a daily close above this candle, I don't think we're going to stop at this one that was put in on 721. We might be looking at, back near their highs. But let's take it at one day at a time. Let's just see what happens. There is a lot of resistance up here, and there's a lot of resistance in this area. So we'll take it one step at a time. Also keep in mind, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. We could see a little bit of trading. We could trade sideways for a couple days. Nothing wrong with that. We could pull back. If we are going to short this market, in my opinion, let's wait to break trend. Maybe a back test once we start putting in lower lows and lower highs. Once we break this level, but we got to wait for this to set up. We have to wait for this low to be put in, and then once we take out that low, which can be anything from a 15-minute chart all the way up to an hourly, a 2-hour chart, even a daily chart, that's completely possible. And again, anything can happen tonight. Anything can happen. So I'm not here to say that we're just going to keep rallying from here, but anything is possible. But to me, based on the close, that's where I see us having higher prices in the Qs. Possibly higher prices in the Qs. Let's look at the transports. Transport's a little bit different of a story. This is something we pointed out on Friday, something we pointed out this weekend. This is what I see. Doesn't mean it will happen. Let's see what the next couple days brings us. And we actually talked about this too. There's nothing wrong with the transports coming back to fill in this gap, which I believe the gap is from 7/14. So July 14th there was a gap. The closing print on that gap is 94.65 price area. So if we do start trading to the downside, there would be a little bit of support there. We are above all the moving averages. To me, again, higher prices in the transports. Doesn't all have to happen in one day, but let's see what happens. Let's look at the VIX. And we'll start to wrap up this video. So looking at the VIX, we had a kind of a bullish day a couple days ago. We're really elevated at this still 23.71 to let's call it 29 area. Even this 25 area in the VIX, to me, it is elevated. That's true. However, we've talked about this. The old VIX $12 to $14 to me is the new VIX $22 to $25. Right? It can stay elevated for a long time. After the financial crisis of 2008, it took a couple years for the VIX to finally settle back down to somewhat of I don't want to say normal prices or price levels, but it took some years before it settled back down. We have to look at this in context. The VIX ran up. The VIX really ran up here. So if I go to another chart, I mean, look at it. This is the weekly chart. So look at the weekly chart. The last time the VIX was up in this price area up here was 2008. 2008 to 2009 was the last time we've seen these kinds of prices in the VIX. So it's okay that the VIX takes time coming back down. It's also possible that the VIX finds support here and we have, let's say, coronavirus part 2, second wave come in. That is completely possible. However, that's part of that little news article I wanted you guys to see, and I forgot to even talk about it. I'm not here to dispute the news, regardless of what network is showing the news. I'm just here to show you what the news is. Coronavirus outbreak shows signs of slowing in Arizona, Texas, and Florida. I don't know when this came out, to be honest with you. I just saw it earlier when I pulled this up. It could have happened. It could have came out today. I have no idea what time. Maybe this morning. I have no idea. In any event, I just wanted to show you that. So let's take a look here. What else did we want to look at? Well, I think we had one more to look at. So gold is on a tear. Absolute tear. Absolutely. While we're looking at the futures here, this is the ES mini futures. Keep this in mind. We did put in a weekly reversal last week. It is possible that we come up and test that reversal candle, either halfway up or all the way up. Test that again before the market rolls over, if that's what it's doing. I don't know if it's going to roll over, but if it is, that might be what it's doing. It might be going back up to do a little back test on the reversal candle. Took a trade in TLT today, shorted it. Beautiful trade. It's still active. Okay, IWM, and this will be the last one. So IWM, same thing. It's almost like all these charts are kind of telling us the same story. We had again, weekly reversal candle put in Friday. Terrible close on the week. We've retraced almost halfway up that candle. Okay, so how much, if you are in an active trade right now, how much are you trying to squeeze out of it? But on another note, now that we're looking at this weekly chart, what it looks like we had an up move and we're consolidating. Now, I'm not here to say it's a bull flag. I'm just saying it's potential, but wouldn't that be nice to find that resistance level? And that price is, the high of that candle is 153.39. That's something to consider. Let's go to the intraday. Well, here's the daily chart. Same thing, we're going back up here, and then I see that same bull flag kind of pattern where we kind of shot up. So far, we're holding these lows above all the moving averages. We have to give the chart the benefit of the doubt that that's what it's trying to do. I have to anyway. It's possible that we continue trading in this range until it's ready to break out or break down. Same thing. Start getting below this price area. If you start getting below this price area, we do have a channel support in here. But if you start getting below these prices, or even below this price level here, which we're pretty close to it, if we start rolling over and we break down out of this, I would definitely look at that for a short op. Same thing, waiting for the lower low on that. I think that wraps it up. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys. If you want to see some of our trades, let me go to the Discord here really quick. There's 3 different Discords. I posted all 3 of them into the description on the video below. This is one of them. This is one called Fundamental Investments. We just joined up with this, kind of doing a partnership here. We just joined up with this group of people. Amazing plays, and I'm just going to go into my channel. I don't want to show you theirs exactly just yet. I don't have their permission, but just showing you my channel we put together. Like, so we just started this today. And eventually we're going to be offering premium content on this server. But for right now, you guys could get in and see what's available, see the trades that we take. I'm going to just kind of scroll through. We did post TLT at 6:55 a.m. So just something to consider. The market recaps throughout the day. I try to get to those before market open and near market close to give people an opportunity to exit out of their trades if they need to, or in any way that can help them. Another one to look at Well, and again, so this one's fundamental investments. Check it out. The second one that we have is day trading done easy. Done easy. Another thing that is in the description below. There's a link for this server. Same thing, amazing group of people, and we do have a channel down here called Prime's Place. Same thing, posting plays. And I'm posting these plays in here so people can learn, not necessarily just take the trade, but so people can learn what I see, my opinion of it, even if it's contrarian or even if it's not correct. Um, but 7 out of 10 plays so far are correct. So if it's something that you guys feel like you could get, you know, some sort of value out of, maybe think about joining up these discords. And another one, finally, we have Ride the Bull. Ride the Bull, same thing. There's a bunch of amazing posts in this server. I like this one especially because it goes into option. They have option alerts on this channel, which I definitely like. I'm gonna go into ours. It's trading with Prime. Same thing. We have the plays that we took today. Same kind of recaps. All three of these servers offer amazing content, and it would definitely be something to take advantage of when you get a chance. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for this day's market recap. I hope this brings value to your guys' trading. Feel free to hit the like button if you got a lot of value out of this. Feel free to hit the like button, and then if there's something that you wanted to discuss with me, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good week the rest of the week, guys.